Star Wars. An intellectual property that at one point would always drop a squat and make some golden eggs, but now it is making some nasty diarrhea. And I made that with my mouth, like there with my mouth. There you go. Because I was going to say Democrats, but Disney, Freudian slip there. Disney, being the multi-billion-dollar corporation that it is in the deep red. So deep that it can't pull out, and oh no, it might have some sort of crazy looking baby. And that crazy baby is called the Acolyte. And I think it's fair enough to say that Disney, since it got rid of the expanded universe, since it got rid of, the initial concept of what Star Wars is, has made very subpar movies. Content. Some things were good, but the process has been nothing but shite. And this series, The Acolyte, which I thought was going to be more of an origin story of Palpatine and Darth Plagueis the Wise. If you know what I'm referencing, I love you. But bear with me, folks. It's important for us to look at what went wrong. And this series cost $180 million. And episode 3, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, was the death blow, I think, that united not only all of the Star Wars community by saying, okay, Disney, you have no idea what you're doing, but also the fact that people are speaking out. And the thing is, I despise censorship. Heartlands Media, we've been censored a lot. We've been hit by the censorship, getting demonetized, shadow banned, terminated, all that good stuff, right? Now, the thing is, I'm going to play a video. This was done by Star Wars Theory. And apparently, before we do, I want to pull up this warning that he got. It wasn't, nonetheless, I don't like it. It's not the worst thing to happen. But, as somebody who's gone through the censorship, I see this horrifying wave because Disney can't take criticism. To quote the South Park episode with Kathleen Kennedy, put a chick in it and make her gay and lame. YouTube sent this to his channel, and he's done great content. None of it's offensive. It doesn't even hit the radar. It's just a diehard fan talking about his love for Star Wars in the series. But here's what YouTube sent to him, which is wrong. Hi, Star Wars Theory. After manually reviewing your video, we've confirmed that it isn't suitable for all advertisers. What? As a result, it will continue to run limited or no ads. Your video remains playable and it's still eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium. You can find more information about our friendly advertiser guidelines in our help center. If you are based in the European Union and disagree with how our video is rated, there may be additional resolution options available to you. Sincerely, the YouTube team. So let's play this video. What exactly happened, buddy? Now, again, this video is not offensive. I mean, you have to twist yourself in a pretzel to really get offended by what this man is saying.
Dude, I haven't seen this many Star Wars fans united since probably either before The Last Jedi or after Mando Season 2.
We've been hearing for a few weeks now that this is going to be the episode that absolutely destroys Star Wars once and for all, and I am here to tell you that it is worse than what we were even expecting.
Episode 3 is causing all kinds of backlash.
Episode 3 of The Acolyte was, without a doubt, one of the most devastatingly embarrassing spectacles I think I've ever witnessed on TV.
Third has hit. I watch it and it's...
Honestly, how can Disney, who actually bought the franchise, and Disney, who should know everything about Star Wars, even understand the fundamental idea of what Star Wars is built on?
And it is a crap show. Disney. Anybody in my audience can write better than your team of staff. And I could say that with absolute confidence after watching episode 3.
I used to think that it would take one really great Star Wars project, bring all of us together. But now I realize it takes one really bad Star Wars project to unite so many of us. I remember during the live stream for episode 3 of The Acolyte, there were so many of you at the end that were saying I was totally on board with episode 1 and 2. In fact, I thought all you guys were toxic for not liking it, this and that. But this is too much. I can't take this. this is bullshit. And so many people are now changing tune and kind of waking up. And I think, it's interesting. There's a line for all of us. And it just depends where that line is for you. For some people, it was like right after The Force Awakens. For some people, it was after Mando season 3. For some people, it was after The Last Jedi. For a lot of people, it's Acolyte episode 3. And you can see it in the comments, whether it's on X, Twitter, or Instagram, or YouTube. Anything that they are posting right now with the Acolyte, it is getting freaking ratioed like crazy. There are so many people in there. Mind you, I just want to say, when you're exclaiming how you feel, just be respectful about it. And I'm very proud there's so many people that are doing that. People are just pissed. They are pissed off. They're done with this shit. There's so many people that are like, this is absolute garbage. This is not right. This is not George Lucas's Star Wars. And it's true. It's not.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
I was speaking with Roger Christian. I remember for episode 4, he was saying how they had such a limited budget for the sets, for everything, and they made everything look like it was literally from a galaxy far, far away. They were just so lazy. They had no vision whatsoever. Remember when the Wookiee was in the middle of the field? There was nothing else. Lazy set design. Mind you, the Wookiee looks like Harry and the Hendersons. He looks like freaking Harry. Harry in the movie. Why would you not make it look like Chewbacca? Why does he have this giant troll head? This like little. What are they doing, man? I don't think they have a clue. It all comes down to Leslie Headland, and it all comes down to Kathleen Kennedy giving her free reign. So two people that just really I don't think should be working on Star Wars at all. And my question is, Dave, where are you? Are you approving all this stuff? Do you have power to approve it or disapprove? What's going on here? I am very confused because none of this is. I mean, bro, you go look at the comments on some of these. It's war. People.
Now, the reason why I am talking about this is because, look, this has to deal with entertainment, and it also has to deal with the fact of social engagement, too, because, let's face it, movies, TV shows, all forms of media, entertainment, what builds a community together, and Star Wars has been around for a very long time, for decades, and the thing is, there was an expanded universe, a lore-rich universe that Disney set on fire and replaced it with their own. And people are upset about it. There was a diehard community. And we've seen this with a lot of intellectual properties. Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Doctor Who. And unfortunately, even with Warhammer 40K, that's very close to my heart. You see a lot of these corporate executives trying to put their own spin. It's sort of like somebody trying to recreate the Mona Lisa. Or yet, better yet, you have a lot of these corporate execs and these directors who trying to make a name for themselves. Very similar to that kindly old lady that tried to recreate a 14th century or I think 13th century picture of Jesus Christ, and it turned out to look like a space alien abortion. Yeah, that's what a lot of these corporations are doing to intellectual properties, our mythos of our era. They're turning them to shite. I mean, real pure crap. And let's face it, I'm not saying these movies should inspire you to become a superhero or a champion of justice, but there's nothing better than watching a film to be like, all right, I enjoyed the lessons in there, or I enjoyed the story arc, and that really made my day. Disney has been making films that have just been miserable to watch, which is why I'm ever looking forward to a second renaissance with the absolute destruction of Hollywood. But more on that.
Are pissed off, and I keep away. I don't even comment, man. You guys are doing enough work there, and this was their last post. They were like, okay, you know what, we're gonna post something that has to do with the prequel trilogy because we're just getting absolutely destroyed. But here is the thing, the numbers game that many people don't understand. I'm sure in the coming months, once they start releasing numbers for the Acolyte, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, it did so well, and they're smart. They're capitalizing on the fact that it's so controversial by spamming the shit out of our feeds with Acolyte stuff because they know people are angry, so they're going to comment that it's shit, but that drives engagement up. And when you drive engagement up, your posts get seen more and more and more because these companies like social media, like, Meta, YouTube, whatever, the way it works is if you have more comments, more likes, more engagement, even if it's more dislikes, it still drives the video into your main screen, your main page, your home page. Same with Instagram and Facebook and all this other stuff. That's how it works. So the like and dislike button is kind of like a joke. It's like, okay, yeah, we want you to vote, but whatever you do, it's going to drive engagement up regardless. People are probably going to see the Acolyte more than any other thing because they just want to see how bad it actually is. They may even say, hey, look, we had how record-breaking views for the show, blah, blah, blah. But, it's a train wreck. everyone wants to see a train wreck, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good project. So, man, I don't know what to even say, but I'm pretty dumbfounded at how this horrible project has brought so many of us together. And it's nice to see finally in the Star Wars fandom. And thank you to everyone who's been sharing my photos on TikTok and stuff, and those have been going viral, which is crazy. It's nice to get the love. It's nice to get the appreciation that we are standing for something, which is George Lucas Star Wars, and will not be silenced, and we'll always speak our minds and be passionate about this galaxy far, far away that we love. And that's, at the end of the day, all we're really talking about and all we really stand for, all we care about. So, keep making noise, keep doing your thing. We're being heard for sure, obviously, but be respectful. Always be polite, always be respectful, be a gentleman about everything, and get your point across eloquently and kindly and respectfully, because that's the best way to do it and to be heard. So, love you all. Pretty cool. And see you in the next video. I got a funny one for you.
So, and somehow that video seemed to be very, very offensive. And you got to twist yourself into a pretzel to really get offended by that. And if you do get offended by it, then emotionally, I don't know what's going on in your brain, but nothing what he said violated any guidelines. But I want to pull this article up. It's from Forbes because it shows, first of all, I want to pull up right here. The Acolyte now is at 15% score. Actually, correction. It's at 14%. Originally, this number was like maybe at 30% or something like that. It has fallen drastically because of how pathetic it is. So I want to pull up this article here. But why? Why this could be happening? Why is this happening? Well, there are a bunch of dimensions to this, and none of them good. There is absolutely a racial gender component to this. No, there isn't. It is just piss poor writing. I actually feel sorry for the actors and actresses, actually. I'm going to tell you why. When you're part of a major multi-billion-dollar corporation, you do have to promote the film, and I dread to think the fine print that they had to sign. Well, now, of course, they willingly signed it. But, man, those actors, good luck with the crap they had to work with, I feel sorry for them. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. There's okay, continue on. A clip from star Amanda Sternberg talked about making white people cry. No, you didn't make anybody cry. You made people laugh, and cry with laughter was shared tens of thousands of times online, taken out of context from the interview years earlier about her film, The Hate You Give. Showrunner Leslie Headland. Do you know who that is? She was an assistant to this guy. You never heard of him. First name Harvey, last name Weinstein. What? Has starred in many YouTube thumbnails lambasting the woke nature of the series, but also allegedly breaking canon. It did. Anakin Skywalker now has 2 sisters. This is the main reason for the surge since episode 3 aired, where fans, and they do air quote fans, well, yeah, that's your bread and butter. Star Wars, yes, there's a dedicated fan base, and then there's the normal fan base. But when you start pissing off everybody, I mean, that's your audience. The whole idea of an art, movie, project, anything, is you want to bring in many people in so they could see it and come away with their own interpretation of it. Disney's been doing this to all of its audiences for years. And finally, people are doing this back in return, as they should. Because many fans believe the show has broken canon or destroyed the lore of Anakin Skywalker by implying that, like Anakin, the twins are a virgin Force birth. Anakin was conceived purely through the Force alone, part of his chosen one mythology. Yeah, that's true. And now they say that's happening again, ruining everything. Well, yeah. Again, I could go into the lore about how Anakin came to be, but, listen, you could scissor as much as you like. 2 women cannot form a sperm cell. No matter how hard you scissor. Efforts can be made, but the result will be the same. No baby. No baby. The problem is we simply have no idea if that's true, even if that's what everyone is assuming after last week. Specifically, while they say the girls have no father, what? How do you get a baby then? Did the witches capture a guy and take advantage of him? I don't know. It is implied that their mother did something unnatural to create them, which would not be a spontaneous Force baby situation. Dark side meddling, witch magic, cloning, we simply don't know yet. But that has not stopped fans from leading to conclusions, saying that in 3.5 hour episodes, the series has destroyed 50 years of canon, and they did. There's also pushback about the portrayal of the Jedi as not great, acting as space cops, rounding up Force-sensitive kids to test and train, not by abducting them per se, but, luring them away from their families for their own good, which is what happened to Osha and sparked the events that led to the deaths of her family and community. Yeah, listen, I'm not an expert, but last I checked, stone isn't combustible. And so there's many people who are calling this out. And of course, you have shills, corporate shills, who are trying to defend Disney. Take, for example, Neurotic here managed to capture 31 seconds of this video here. But Looper, they do endless entertainment, right? Why did you delete your posts stating it? Yours truly and the Critical Drinker are encouraging hatred and bigotry with our reviews of a poorly written streaming show. The only ones I see doing that are Lucasfilms. What did they say? And they deleted this video, by the way. They deleted it because no one can deny how Disney's been handling its intellectual properties. I mean, Disney's been in the red. When I had Jesse Jett on the show, Memorial Day weekend, this Memorial Day week was the worst movie turnout in 40 years.
Some audience members have issues with the show's diversity and LGBTQ plus themes, and those should be dismissed. However, viewers should genuinely examine the legitimate criticisms the Acolyte has received. Cultural critics like the Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic have dubbed the show lore-breaking for its recent revelations, but their commentary isn't productive. Rather, it encourages bigotry and hatred over a show that's just getting started. As always, rage bait and review bombings distract from actual criticism. In particular, Episode 3 has proven to be controversial, and perhaps rightfully so.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So what? They're blaming people for being movie critics. Look, listen, art is important. Star Wars posters then versus Star Wars posters now. None of the, and by the way, people have been saying that this picture right here was done with AI art. AI art. Passion, no passion. Passion, no passion. The one on the left, passion. The one on the right, no passion. It's absolute piss poor crap, which has, again, led to this. 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, the critics, I don't know what they're smoking, or either that, how much they're getting paid. They must be getting paid a lot of money. But what can we take away from this? This is the downfall of what I have, or what a lot of people have said about movies and entertainment in general. You see, Hollywood as an institution has failed miserably in regards towards, telling engaging stories, thought-provoking content. Disney has bought all these intellectual properties and gave it to directors and writers who don't know anything about the series or whatever show they're going to be covering. I mean, Marvel, at one point, super hot, golden brand. I mean, we all remember Endgame and Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, if anything, if Disney was smart, they would have let that thing rest, let it chill, and maybe 5 years or 6 years down the road, hire new actors and actresses to play Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, etc. They could have done that, but they kept on spewing out continuous, mediocre content that has no value whatsoever. And what I'm afraid of now, or what I'm concerned about, is that similar to independent media, a lot of content creators who are critical of corporations or TV shows are now also going to be hit with censorship, being smeared and slandered. Now, it's been going on, but I've been saying that it's going to get worse, especially this year. That video I played earlier, nothing that gentleman said was offensive. Nothing what that gentleman said was insulting. And if you were easily triggered by that 5-minute video, then you're emotionally stunted and you should be nowhere near the internet. You should be nowhere near anything of that nature. That was the most least offensive video I've ever seen. And I don't know who manually reviewed it, but they might have got a good check. Maybe they could have gotten a good check. Who knows? But good luck, Disney, as you go under. I could see Bob Iger and everybody else there wondering, why aren't people showing up? Because your shows and movies are lame. Non-inspiring. What is the incentive of people spending their hard-earned money to watch a show on streaming when it's nothing but crap? What's the incentive of people going to the movie theaters when the movie is mediocre and crap? Going to movie theaters ain't cheap anymore, folks. When I went to see Godzilla -1, which, mind you, was a great film, 10 out of 10, awesome movie, great story, great special effects, great characters, really good stuff. Cost me $50, man. I mean, I was glad to see it in theaters, but that was kind of pricey. And I'm pretty sure it's expensive in your neck of the woods, wherever you're at. But censorship is never the answer, Disney. I mean, you make movies and people have a right to criticize them. Not just official movie critics, but other people too. And in this day and age where we all have computers, laptops, cell phones, smartphones, all that kind of stuff, people are going to voice their opinions out. And if you have to censor, it means you're afraid. If you have to silence, it means you don't want people to know that your product is crap. And it is crap. As a final note, no one asked Disney about his infatuation with the guy, first name Adolf, last name Hitler. No one talk about the mouse and his association with the Third Reich, right? No one wants to talk about good old Walt. Don't believe that Tom Hanks propaganda of a smiling, friendly guy. No. My own personal theory, Mickey Mouse is a Skaven. And we know what the rules are on this show. We don't trust Skaven. Simple. We don't trust Skaven. And the mouse is a Skaven, consuming everything and giving us nothing in return. Disney, in theory, you could do better. But I don't think you can, which is why I welcome the end of the Hollywood monopoly. Someday, just not today.